I want to welcome everybody to our Pardon Our Dust meeting for the 2020 Corridor Safety Improvement Project. My name is Josh Lawrence. I'm representing VDOT as the project manager on the project. I'll get to introductions in just a second, but one key thing, for those of you who have attended some of the previous public information meetings, the format of this meeting is a little bit different from those. There's not a formal Q&A process. We will be around to answer specific questions, but really the intent of this is to let you know about where we stand in the process for our project, what kind of impacts you should anticipate, and really introduce you to the project team. So without further ado, if my clicker will work, I want to introduce the team. We have a great partnership with Faulkner Construction Company, who's the lead of the design build team, and I'll let Josh Williamson introduce his team.
Hello, good evening. I'm Josh Williamson. I'm serving as the construction manager for this project. We have a few folks with us here tonight. Mike Robick in the Burgundies, the project manager on the job, and also with him is Greg Kristeniak. He's the assistant design build manager. And there's a few other guys on our team. We have a full-time safety manager who couldn't make it tonight, had an issue come up here at the end, but we have mobilized our field office complex. It's right near the James at Phase 3 South, and we'll be starting there shortly in about a month.
So from the VDOT side, I work for Robbie Williams, who's the district construction engineer. He apologized he wasn't able to make it here right on time, or right tonight. For those of you who have attended the public information meetings in the past, you certainly recognize Craig Morris, who's off to the side there, who's really shepherded the project throughout the development, but prior to procurement. And Monument Michael is our project inspector, who's going to be out on site supporting the design build team. As a big picture overview of the job, and I'll get to some more details in a bit, the project cost, total project cost is about $80 million. When it's all said and done with, we hope to leave the area with a safe project by August 31st of 2021. So we'll be out in your way for a good period of time. Really the focus of the job is about a 10-mile section of roadway between Iron Gate and Eagle Rock. So roughly around Route 43 and the bridge over the James at the Eagle Rock end up into the, right where we approach the slowdown into Iron Gate at the north end. Really the goal is a safety improvement project. We're not adding any capacity, but it's going to reduce the number and severity of the crashes, hopefully. We're going to do this by improving our sight distances through the curves, really improve geometrics, providing additional recovery area with some widened shoulders, and I'll get to some of those in detail, and providing some audible warnings through rumble strips, center line, and shoulder rumble strips. We're also going to be improving intersections and providing some additional turn lanes as well. There's some additional details on the screen. It is a 10-mile section, as you know, but when you look at some of the details, we'll actually be constructing about 8.5 miles worth of roadway, or reconstructing about 8.5 miles of roadway, because there is an existing project that Allegheny Construction and the Salem District are currently underway with. They began construction in 2016, and they'll be wrapping up this summer. From a big picture standpoint, you've been dealing with a roadway that's about 10 to 11 feet wide in each lane, in each direction, with very limited shoulders, so very limited recovery areas. Well, we're going to come back and deliver, and there's different sections for different parts of the roadway, but the goal is to give you 12.5 foot wide lanes, center rumble strip, which is wider, and I'll get to some more details on that, as well as some wider shoulders. Okay, and the widened shoulders, as the details here will give you, is we have 4-foot paved shoulders on both sides, as well as 4-foot stabilized shoulders on the outside of that. So really about 8 foot of shoulder throughout most of the corridor. There are a couple sections where we're not going to be able to get that full 8 foot shoulder width. Some of those details are provided on the boards to your right, to my left. That center rumble strip is going to be about a 2 foot lane, 2 foot wide center line. It will accommodate the double yellows as well as our rumble strips. And so that will certainly provide significant safety improvement. The project is not a traditional project when it comes to VDOT delivery. This is a design build job, meaning the design and the construction are all under one team, and that's led by the Faulkner team. And really one of the key things for the job is safety. Okay, and safety is the #1 goal for the entire team, not only for the department but for Faulkner as well. While a lot of preliminary design is set, the design is being developed. Okay, so we are in the process of authorizing right-of-way acquisitions. We are in the process of developing the right-of-way plans for Phase 1 and Phase 2, which are, I'll get to those in just a few moments. Those are the 2 lower sections. Phase 3 North is actually our only spot where we have right-of-way approval. But the design-build process is really the big benefit for that is design is going to be going concurrent with some of the field development and some of the construction out in the field, with an end result of getting you a quality job that's done faster. As I alluded to, we have 3 phases on the job. If I can get my laser pointer, it's working, but I don't know. Okay. Phase 1 is our center section. That runs from just north of Kelly's Market in the Gala area, and certainly not trying to advertise, just that's the biggest monument to just south of the bridge on the south end of Phase 3. So that's north end of Phase 1. Phase 2 is our southern end between Gala and Eagle Rock. And the north end, Phase 3, there's a section, and Josh will get to this, a section of Phase 3 South, which is just mill and overlay, and then Phase 3 North, which is going to be reconstructed. Josh is going to kind of walk you through the schedule of operations from a very high level, and then I'll come back in.
Okay, so to talk a little bit about construction, and as Josh mentioned, this is a design-build job, so in a sense, right now no design is approved to go to work, so we'll get approval in phases, and we anticipate starting in Phase 3 North, which again is the north end of the project. We hope to get started there next month in April. It looks like we're in pretty good shape to break ground in April, and the duration for this is about 9 months. We plan on getting Phase 3 North completed this calendar year. Again, the location, it begins right on the north intersection at the head of the James River, and the end of it on the north side of Phase 3 North is right at Route 727 or Fork Farm Road. The project activities for this piece of the project mainly consist of drainage and widening to the right. This area needs quite a bit of fill, around 50,000 yards of dirt and rock to satisfy the fills to widen the road. We anticipate getting the majority of this fill material from a cut in Phase 1. And at the end of Phase 3 North improvements, what you're going to get is a widened shoulder, improved stormwater drainage, and better sight distance. And just like Josh mentioned, this is the reason we're doing this is a safety improvements job. So when we're done, obviously we're going to turn over a road that's much safer and better for you guys and everybody that uses it. But we also want to have a safe construction project. That's one of our biggest concerns, one of our biggest priorities on this project. We want to make sure there's plenty of ample signage, there's plenty of safety managers out there taking care of what's going on, because as you can see, Allegheny's kind of doing their job is 1 mile, we're kind of 9 miles, they're within our project, and you can see kind of what they're doing now is what we're going to end up with at the end of our project. The next phase we'll get into is Phase 1. It is in the middle of the job. It is the largest portion of the project. It's where the entire cut area is. It's probably going to take about 2.5 to 3 years to complete this. We're hoping to break ground in Phase 1 this summer. And again, the final completion of this project is August of 2021. And this will be one of the last pieces we're finishing up. The specific locations for Phase 1, it begins right there at Kelly's Market on the south side. The north end is close to the intersection of 696, which is Berman Road and Locust Bottom Road. Part of the Phase 1 improvements include improved intersection at Route 622, which is Price's Bluff Road intersection area, constructing left turn lanes at Route 696, which is Locust Bottom Road, and also at Burnham Road. Will be new extended passing zones, improved stormwater drainage, and improved sight distance. Last piece of the project, Phase 2. Again, we're hoping to break ground this calendar year, probably late summer, early fall. This is about a year and a half, 2 year duration for Phase 2. It begins in the south end of the project at the James, and the north end of it is right at Route 43 Narrow Passage Road. The Phase 2 improvements include a dual center turn lane at Kelly's Market, curb and gutter installed at Kelly's Market north to Sinking Creek Bridge, new extended passing zones, and constructing a left turn lane at Route 43, which is Narrow Passage Road. Phase 3 South, Josh alluded to this earlier. The only construction that takes place in this portion of the project is basically a paving operation, a mill and overlay. It does not get widening. There's no grading outside of the current road limits. And we're looking to probably do this somewhere around the fall of 2020. That's our current plan for the construction.
Yep. Thanks, Josh.